So right now I have a guest with us that we have never interviewed before. This is our first time at Ohayocon.
My very first time.
It's J. Michael Tatum. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good. So how has Ohayocon been for you so far this weekend?
It has been great. I mean, it's huge. Everyone's been really, really cool. The kids are awesome. I am having the time of my life. I know it's supposed to be work, but it doesn't feel like work. But don't tell them that.
I won't say a word. Now, how did you first get into the world of voice acting?
Kind of just happened. I mean, it's just I happen to be good friends with Christopher Bevins, who works at Funimation. He's directed a lot of great shows for them, and he was a close personal friend. And one day he just asked me to come and audition for him. And at the time he told me what I would be doing, and I kind of was nervous, and I tried to talk him out of it, and. But, he
like, no.
He wouldn't take no for an answer,
come on.
And so had me come in and audition, and then I got into it, and I've been pretty much busy ever since.
Awesome. Now, mentioning Chris,
Yes.
how much help was Chris help with you in the transition getting into the business?
Oh, he was great. I couldn't have done it without him, honestly. And he's a brilliant director in that I think, honestly, he could get a performance out of a rock and make someone cry over it. I mean, it's just he's that good, and that character he just knew how to get that out of me. And so I always say that 8 or 9 months we spent recording Samurai 7, which was the first show I ever did, was like Bevan's boot camp, but it was great because at the end of it I was a voice actor, by God. It was awesome. So Chris was vital. I couldn't have done it without him.
Now, Kyoya.
Yes.
In this series of Hoska.
Yes.
Tell us how your character is in this series.
It's funny. Kyoya is like the one, besides Haruhi, the main character. He is the one person who isn't like crazy big all the time. He's kind of the calm, cool, collected one. He's always the man with the plan, but he very rarely tells anybody what that plan is. They're kind of pawns in his little game. And he's a really fun character to play because he's the cool one, and he's got the glasses, he's got to push up like this, So I always say he's a little bit like me in real life, and in a sense he is, but I'm not that cool in real life. Right. But I am kind of the behind-the-scenes man with the plan guy. At least I like to think.
You'd like to think so.
So Kyoya is really a lot of fun to play, and Oran's just a great show. I mean, there's a lot of things about that show that are worth it. It's wonderful, and it was great to be part of it. I would have been the fly on the wall for that show if I could have been. And the fact that I got Kyoya made me really excited because I'm a total Kyoya fanboy, and it would have been even if I wasn't the one who voiced him.
Now, and you told me how to pronounce it in Holic.
Oh, Domiki. Yes.
Sorry. What do you think of this off-the-wall series?
Actually, I gotta tell you, I think Holic is one of my favorite shows. I've always kind of liked the clamp style of animation, and I think that in Holic it really kind of finds its perfect expression. Actually, the whole Tsubasa universe, of which Holic is a part, and I was in Tsubasa as well, which is kind of neat. I'm like, I want those characters to meet at some point in the future, which I don't know if they will, but that'd be fun.
That'd be fun.
But Domiki was great because Domiki was like the first character I got to play that was all about underplaying. He's very unemotional and sarcastic and very dry, and he has to kind of communicate more with less. And it was a challenge because you want to overdo it or underdo it or whatever, and it was fun. But I mean, by the end of it, it was great, and I love that show. I think Todd Haberkorn and Colleen Clinkenbeard, who play Watanuki and Yuko respectively, are two of my favorite characters in anime. And it's a fantastic show. I love everyone. There's a story arc, but every single episode is more or less self-contained. And I love that kind of episodic story where there's a different main character every time going through something, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful show.
Now, what was the challenge when you tried Rikichi in Samurai 7?
Well, the main challenge was because it was the first time I'd ever stepped in a booth, and so I had never matched flaps before. I had never had to read a script on the fly like that before, and one of the biggest challenges was Rikichi gets really emotional, and there's some crying at times, because he's had a hard life, and there's some really big moments and some just really calm moments, but that emotion had to come out, and the challenge was doing that because I'm not that, I'm like, I've never screamed really out of anger, not that I can think of, so it's like coming out and trying to not hold back, which again, getting back to Bevan's role in kind of ushering me into being that, he was so there and capable of just making sure that I got there and just kind of making me inhabit that character so that by the time, maybe the 4th or 5th week I stepped in the booth, it really began to feel natural, and that character and I were just like this. And so there were a lot of challenges, but it was always rewarding, because at the end of it I thought that, oh man, that was awesome. You know what I mean? Not even to be an egotistical guy, but I'm like, that's a good. I love that performance. You know, it doesn't even sound like me to me anymore. I listen to that, and it's just.
Somebody totally different.
Yeah, it's fun. It was great. It was great. It was hard, but it was great.
Now, is there a difference between voicing a main character as opposed to a smaller role?
Sometimes with the main character, you generally have more of a chance to kind of feel the character out over time. Sometimes the main character will sound a little different in the beginning than later on as you get more comfortable in the role, and which is great to have that room to play in. But with smaller characters, you really don't get that chance. So it's kind of a walk-on part, or the guest of the week. You're Betty Davis on Gunsmoke or something. It's that kind of feel. Was that a really obscure reference? I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But it's fun to do the little one-off characters like that because it makes you feel you've got a chance to sort of just create a character right then and there, and that's all you've got. And that's a great skill to have. So I love doing little characters. I love being red shirt number 2 who goes, look at that, and dies. I mean, I just love being in the booth. I don't care what I'm doing.
You just have fun no matter what it is.
Absolutely.
Now, and recently you've added directing and writing.
Yes.
How are you adjusting to the other side?
It was really cool. I'm really lucky to be surrounded by a lot of talented people up there at Funimation, and it's just a great company to work for a lot of reasons. But there's such a great support group there for everyone getting into the industry, getting into it, starting directing and stuff, and everyone encourages you and offers their time and their advice. And it was great doing it. I mean, it was a lot smoother than just originally getting into it, because by that time I knew everybody and kind of knew their styles. And now that I'm doing the writing and the directing and the acting all together, they all inform one another a great deal. I think my acting has improved because of my writing and because of my, getting in the directing booth, and also my directing has improved because of my experience as an actor and with the writing and all that. So
being able to understand all the different aspects makes you a better.
It's kind of like finally all the pieces are kind of coming together, and I feel that all of them have helped one another grow, and which is awesome.
Sense.
So yeah.
Now, how are you enjoying your time? The rest of the time here at Ohayocon, what are you going to be doing?
I love it. Well, yesterday was like full throttle panel, which was great. Today I'm just going to go in the dealer's room, and I'm going to buy me some stuff, and then I'm going to just hang out and just watch everyone in costume, because that's my favorite part about
People watching is the best thing to do about
I love it. This is great. I love it.
Enjoying the cold?
The cold?
The cold.
It's fun to look at from the window.
Thank you.
I'm not prepared for this cold.
Thank
the
you.
snow is neat because I'm from
It's
Texas.
pretty.
So you get off the plane and I'm like, what is all this cool powdery white stuff on the ground? Yay! And then it's cold and I'm like, okay, I gotta go. I'm not made for this.
Yeah. I completely agree.
I'm enjoying the cold. Kinda. The concept. Yeah. It's a nice change. Yeah. It's a nice place to visit. I wouldn't want to live in the snow.
I completely agree with you. Completely. Now, are there
I'll come here during the summer in Texas. Yeah. Where it's not 150 degrees in the shade.
I can tell you stories. Now, besides that, are there any current or upcoming projects that you can tell us that you're working on?
There's a lot going on right now that I'm involved with that I can't talk about because it all seems to kind of follow the same place. There's a couple things that just came out. One of them in particular was Bakano.
Okay.
Just came out. I think the first 4 episodes came out on Tuesday.
Right.
And it's got a huge cast. My God, everybody is in it, including a lot of new talent.
A lot about
and that is a really fun show. I love that show. It's really cool because it's gangsters. It's American Chicago Prohibition era gangsters.
Really?
And the cool thing about one of the many cool things about that show is getting to see the Japanese take on a little slice of Americana. That our own mythology. And Tyler Walker directed the dub, and it is a fantastic dub. Okay. And please, everyone should check it out. It's a great show. I'm really, really pulling that. There's a couple other stuff coming out I can't talk about, unfortunately. But
you save it for next time.
Cool. I'll save it for next time.
Awesome.
This time next year, we'll be talking about all of that.
Sounds great.
Awesome.
Thanks, Michael. It's awesome. Thank you very much. A pleasure meeting you. And
thank you.
Can't wait until next time.
Oh, definitely.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.